Couple lights on, cameras roll. Time to break the mold. No more silence, every story's gotta be told. Truth in the air, no filter, no disguise. Real talk, real change. We open up your eyes. We got the voices that are changing the game. Fearless, unchained, calling our names. From the struggles to the rise, we expose, we ignite. No topic too deep when you step in the light. We got the answers, spotlight, let your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep. Breaking the silence, no secrets we keep. Lessons we learn, voices of the people, let the fire burn. Dr. Donna, Dr. Laxley, leading the way, guiding the truth in a world full of gray. Experts, activists, voices untold, everyday heroes with stories so bold. This is more than a show, it's a movement, a spark. To the dawn, we got the voices that are changing, be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep. Breaking the silence, no secrets we keep. Step into the spotlight, let your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep. Breaking the silence, no secrets we keep. We got the voices, spotlight, let your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep. Breaking the silence, no secrets we keep. And if you want the real, then tune in right now. We're breaking down walls, no backing down. One mic, one voice, one mission tonight. Step into the spotlight, let's get it right. Let's get it right. Let's head to the spotlight. Let's get it right. What do?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Monday evening of In the Spotlight. This is the home of unfiltered conversations where real talk is what we do. I am none other than Dr. Donna Thompson.
I'm Dr. Laxley, and together we are your moderators.
Hi, Doctor. Fierce.
What's going on, Doc?
Oh, nothing much. I'm thankful that I am here sharing this evening with you, and it's Monday, and it's great.
All right, it certainly is Monday. And you know, Mondays seem to be coming faster and faster, quicker and quicker. And I'm not sure I fully understand that. Do you?
I'm not quite sure. But someone said something the other day. I heard, and it was a lady that said something the other day. She said, like, when you're a baby, times just seem to go very slow, and when you get older, it seems to go very fast. So I don't know how true that is, or maybe we're just very busy. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and I don't accept any that hard to keep up. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was, oh gosh, what happened on my weekend? I think my weekend was good. It seemed like it did go by very quickly, but it was good. It was, it was quiet, productive in the sense of just kind of doing some stuff outside in the yard. Because now the weather is changing, so a little bit warm, so can kind of start doing some yard work. So productive. So I would say that it was pretty good. How was yours?
But I had a challenging week. Of course, I had the bug, the flu.
Hmm.
Today's actually my best day in over a week, in over 7 days. So I'm grateful and thankful for that.
Hmm.
I had the opportunity to rest my voice. I did do a couple of shows, but somehow I was able to do it, pull it off. But after the shows, I paid the price. I paid the price, of course. So, when you're called to do something or to build something that outlives you or should outlive you, then you do what you have to do. But I have a question for you. And I was thinking about this when that wonderful song in the spotlight was playing. What does it mean to you to be a driving force in a collision with purpose movement? What does it mean to you?
Um, it. I think for me, it's really wanting to build something here at a collision with purpose that is going to definitely outlast me, and it's going to have a positive impact on the lives that it will be serving. And it's not just for now, but I more think of what is being built and the time and energy that I'm putting into building the organization. It's going to be it's gonna outlive me. It's gonna be, it's part of my legacy. I would say it's part of my legacy in being able to give back to my community at home and globally. So it's something that I look at where there are so many different avenues within a collision with purpose that I know that it's serving humanity and it's going to be here for a very, very long time. Long after I'm gone and you're gone, it's going to be around forever.
And what it means to me is very one sentence. It's the biggest thing I've ever been involved with, I've ever done with my life, and the most important thing I can do with my life. And why is that so? Because it's not about me. It's about making a difference in a crazy world where people are hurting, people are suffering, and there's a major misunderstanding, where people there's a lack of knowing who you are as a person, and that is out there. And often people confuse great work, service, because they live in a personal state where it's
Mhm.
all about them. So they will never understand the power and the significance of doing things outside of yourself. And that's why we decided to do this show tonight, building something that outlives you. Because that simply means that it's not about building it for you and who you are, but it's building it for who you plan to become. And not yourself, but as you expand into others. So I thought that question was important, and if anyone is watching, they should ask themselves that same question. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And why is it important that I'm doing the things that I'm doing? Because if you don't have the answer for that, you need to try and find that answer. That's the focus, right? And I was on a show with Dr. One, and the question, I think if I recall what the question, one of the three questions I asked, and we'll get to that, by the way, we'll get to that, but that's important. That's why I asked you that question,
Right.
So we have some things happening in our lives, and it's not about us. For instance, we're going to Kenya. And we have some servant leaders who are going with us, and we want to honor them tonight. We want to honor those servant leaders. So I'm going to play. First of all, I'm going to drop the flyer on the thing, and then you can talk a little bit about it. And then I'm going to share the flyers of the folks, of the individual, the servant leaders who will be traveling to Kenya with us.
All right. I love this flyer. So yeah, so this flyer, it just, it's a representation of the work that we did last year. There's several of our team members on the flyer who traveled with us to Kenya, where they invested their time, their resources, everything that you can possibly think of to travel with us to actually serve a community where they've never been to. And, we're grateful that we had those individuals that went with us. And because of that trip and everything that we experienced during that trip in 2025, it forged the path for us to realize we still have more work to be done. And because of that, we're going back this year again. And of course, the plan is for us to travel in May 22nd to June 6th, another 2-week trip. And we're looking at, doing some of the same initiatives because the need is so vast that one trip just could not. There's no way. It's like a needle in a haystack. There's no way one trip could even put a dent in the work that needs to be completed. But we're also adding additional things that's even more profound when we go back with the launch of the cancer CBO, which we know that is something that is very rampant globally. However, that is something that we will be launching and doing a lot of work around as well while we're there. So, this time we have some of our same team members that went with us last year. They will be returning with us this year. And that speaks to the heart of the individuals who are charged to serving outside of their community and inside their community, that they saw the need to go back with us again. So we're grateful and we're humbled that they're entrusting us to return with us this coming May. So more to come on our 2026 outreach.
Right. And I full disclosure, none of us are from Kenya. Mm-hmm. We're not Kenyans, but we're of Kenya because we're Black people. And wherever there are people who are on the serve, we are those people. And those are the people we serve. And that is why we're going to Kenya. And we'll be visiting schools. Mm-hmm. We'll be building pit toilets in Kenya, maybe 2, maybe 3, who knows? It all depends on the support we're getting. We'll be visiting orphanages, and we'll be visiting the people who need our support, people who are underserved, people who are not as fortunate as some of us are. And that is our work here at A Collision with Purpose. What else will we be doing? We'll be meeting dignitaries, of course, mm-hmm. and we'll be having some fun. We'll be having some fun because we need to make sure the servant leaders who are coming with us, they also get to experience not just work in Kenya, but Kenya in its other forms as well. But Kenya is a wonderful and a great place for you to go and enjoy and to experience things that you cannot experience here in your country. All right, so I am going to run the flyer of some of the individuals who will be coming with us, okay?
Okay.
We have Dr. Apolline Reed, she's coming. Dr. Arthur Hines is coming.
And no, Dr. Hines is returning because he was there with us last year.
And we have Dr. Davidson. We have Dr. Donna, of course. We have Dr. Rosemary Lewis. We need to put that title on her name. I'm going as well. We have, who else is on here? Dr. Miranda Wellington is coming. She's coming all the way from Jamaica. In fact, we're all from Jamaica. We have Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani. She lives in Kenya. We have Mr. Emerald Edwards. He's traveling with us. We have the Honorable Leonard Kasaya Soita. He lives in Kenya. We have Mr. Joseph West playing beautiful music, or saxophone players. And we have Ian Graham. All right. And we have, who else is on here? Dr. Everett Ainsley. So that's quite a list so far who will be coming. So just wanted to pop them up there and honor them and say thank you to them in advance for making that commitment. It's a financial commitment they're making, and we don't take it lightly for them to drop what they're doing and to travel across the ocean to come and to go and serve. So that's what we're talking about, serve. Why is it important to serve? It's because you want to build something that will outlive you, right? So, yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight. Why is it important to serve, Dr. Donna? And so I want to say that it's all about having and making an impact, right?
Yeah.
And we are no longer in the business of temporary impact. Anyone can start something, but few people build it to endure, right? Few people build it to endure. If it only works when you're inspired, excited, or present, it is temporary, and we're not into that temporary business, right? So tell me why it's important, Dr. Donna.
Well, it's important that whatever you're doing, it's going to outlast you, because then what's the point? If it's just when you have a feel good feeling you're doing it, then who is it really serving, right? It's self-serving. It's not serving humanity. So, when you're thinking of building anything, you really need to sit and really think about why you're doing it and whom you're doing it for, and make sure those things align. And it should be something, if you're doing it to serve self, then unfortunately it's not going to last, because as humans we have emotions, we have, we go through different phases. So it's not going to last, it's going to phase out. But if you're doing something, whatever that may be, to serve the greater good for humanity, then you'll have a better chance of that, whatever that is, to outlive you. It'll be more sustainable, and you'll be more inclined to show up and do the work, even when you are tired and sick, like you were last week, and you still went out there and did what you had to do. So, when you're committed to something other than yourself, then you have a better chance of something sustaining. And we also have to think that we're not here permanently. We have a limited time on this earth, and you want to make sure that your time here was not in vain, regardless of how many years you have. You want to know that your name goes down in the history book. You want to know that you left a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. You want to know, when your great great grandchildren, you may never know them, but guess what? They'll know of you. They may see photos of you. They may see the work that you've done. And believe it or not, it's generational. They'll continue to do the work. They'll continue to want to do that positive work and to continue to impact the world that they're living in at that particular time. So everything that we're doing is not for us. It's sustainability of the world and of mankind. It's not for us. It's for paying it forward for future generations. So
it's not for us. And you remind me all the time that there's a cost to everything that we do. You, of course, you're the CFO of the of the movement, the Collision with Purpose movement. And you know that what we do here is not generating money.
Mm-mm.
We're spending money.
It's generating zero.
And we have not gone out to pursue money in this work. We've not gone out. In fact, normally when we sell books, we give back proceeds. Normally we sell books. And so this is not about, and for anyone out there listening who's got a false sense of what we're about and what we do, I want them to listen carefully and get this. We're not, this is not a money-making organization. None of what we do is about that. It's about service, and service in the true sense. I'm talking about servant leadership, giving what you don't even have for yourself and looking out for your brothers and your sisters who are in need. And I think there are some people out there who lack that understanding because that is not who they are. Those type of things do not live in them. So hopefully they will wake up and understand how it really works. So when you build something that lasts, what you do, Dr. Donna, you create what I call reliability. And it's reliability that builds trust. And as far as I know, trust is the currency of legacy leadership, which is what you've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what trust is. So let's talk about some of the things that we do here. One of our brand is, of course, we have the Collision with Purpose movement. We also have the A Collision with Purpose Foundation, and we have the A Collision with Purpose Africa, which is a division of the A Collision with Purpose movement. And that is, we launched that in Kenya, mm-hmm. and the objective is to build that out throughout East Africa. And that is what we intend to do. The Honorable Leonard Sohita Kisaya, he is the one leading that movement over there under our guidance, and we will be connecting with him when we get to Kenya. He'll be giving us the tour. He'll be responsible for our movements and everything we do over there, as he did the last time, and he did a wonderful job, a great job, to make sure that our trip was not only productive but also enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So is there anything you want to say about the Honorable Leonard? Sorry, Dr. Saya.
I must say that he is, the epitome of serving as well, because of servant leadership. He has a job and he has a very demanding job that requires a lot of responsibility. And I'm telling you, he made sure that he was with us at pretty much every junction that he could possibly be. If he was not able to be there during certain times, he made sure someone was with us. We were safe every single movement, that we were actually doing within our 2 weeks. He was spending late nights with us and then having to, go back to his family, his work. I mean, he was juggling so many different tasks and responsibilities. And I tell you, he never showed any kind of being tired, being exhausted, being frustrated with us. I mean, nothing at all. He was always accommodating, always helping us, always willing to go the extra mile. And, that is just a great example of someone who not only served his people, but served the visitors that came there as well. And, and he did that. And it's not like he was getting paid to do any of that. He was just our host. And he made sure that everything that we needed, everything that we asked for, he did his very best to make sure that he was able to provide those things. Even to one of the things that you requested that was probably very unlikely to happen, but somehow he was able to make it happen just by going that extra mile. And so, for someone like that, you have to appreciate them, and you have to recognize them. And I do thank him for all that he did for us. And I look forward to going back and being with him and being in his presence, and just, working hard, but also having a great time while we're working hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 'Cause we owe it to the folks who are coming with us to make sure that they enjoy and experience Kenya in its fullest form, the
Hmm.
work and the fun. And there's so much fun there. When you talk about a request that I made, and that was to meet with Professor Pielo Lumumba, and he made that happen. And I
Hmm.
recently reached out and texted PLO, so I know we will be having audience with him again when we go back to Kenya. In fact, we'll be doing some work for one of his organization there. We'll be collaborating with him to do some
Hmm.
work there. Yeah, but we also have another very special person in Kenya.
Oh.
And her name is Elizabeth
Mm.
Kisiangana Sitawa. We call her a celebrity. And we decided to, working with her and Lenny, to form an organization in Kenya under the umbrella of the Collision with Purpose. It's a CBO, a cancer organization. And we will be launching and kicking that off in Kenya.
Hmm.
It's already in operation, but we'll activate it fully when we get to Kenya in May. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal because it's all about cancer awareness. And when you're in a society where you lack so much as it is in terms of medical care, the more awareness you have, the more information you have as a patient, as a member or family member of a patient, the better, because time
Hmm.
saves life. And so that's another one of our brand, of our product. So at Collision with Purpose, we have many products, many things that we do. We have our foundation, of course. We have the movement. We have a Collision with Purpose Africa. And we also have the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Community-Based Organization. And I just wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what you said, that that was formed on with our dear friend Elizabeth. And just having to go through some of the areas with her of her treatment, and walk with her, and understanding, hearing, and things of that nature, some of the disparities that still happens there, the stigma that still happens there, which I'm quite sure happens other places as well. But being so close to her and seeing how she's fighting not only for her health, not only for her health, but she's also fighting to bring awareness, more awareness to the illness. She's fighting to break the stigma of cancer in her country, because a lot of people, they end up having this illness and they die alone, or they find out when it's too late, when maybe something preventative could have taken place, early detection, all these things could have happened. They miss out on treatments, um, different judgments as to why they may have come down with the illness and things of that nature. So she's fighting not just for herself, but also for her people, so that awareness can come to her people, and services can be there for them, and resources can be there for them. And that's what she wants to do. And so, of course, we've experienced in our own personal lives loss of family members and friends of that horrific illness. So we know the plight that many people face. So it was not by accident that I think we were so drawn to wanting to build this out and to do something to help her as well, to bring more awareness to the disease. And so with the CBO, we're basically building an organization where we'll be able to provide resources, educational resources, material, encourage individuals for early detection for the illnesses, with donations, of course, because nothing can happen without money. So we ask members and individuals in the community to donate to the CBO. With those donations, we can potentially help family members or patients who are suffering from the illness, help to somehow, it may be groceries to make sure that they're eating properly, they have good nutrition, or it may be to help with some of the medical costs, medications, testing, things of those, that they'll need. So the CBO is there to really try to help the individuals that is fighting the disease, and also their families and the children, and just overall be some type of a support for the communities. And so, just bringing awareness and really trying to get rid of that stigma that is still there. And so the launch is going to be a big deal for us having the launch when we go in May. And we're looking for, once again, for the CBO, it's something that it's not for us, and it's going to outlive all of us, and it's going to serve the families and patients that it's meant to serve. So there's a lot of initiatives also around the CBO, a lot of ideas, a lot of creation around the CBO, to where we're going to implement things so that we'll have sustainability of the CBO as well, so that it will also be able to sustain itself to provide the services that we needed to provide.
Yeah, and of course, sustainability is important, and nothing moves without funds. However, it is not our long-term objective to build anything out on donations. Whatever we build will create its own funding, will generate its own funding. If we were to depend on others to grow our vision, it would never happen.
Right.
If we were to depend on others. Now, we do appreciate when there's a buy-in. We do appreciate that, because we do believe that through collaboration, we all become stronger. And when like-minded people come together and put their effort in together, great things can happen. So we know we do have those people on board with us at the Collision with Purpose. We have 12 of them coming to Kenya with us. Of those types of individuals with that type of integrity and morality, individuals who understand that life is not just about them, but it's about the work you're here to do. And if the work you're here to do is about you, then you need to do a self-check, because that surely is not the answer. That is not the answer. Now, we do work elsewhere because we have another organization. This organization is called Global Humanity Network Incorporated. It is a 501c3 nonprofit agency. I'm the president and CEO and the founder of the organization. You are the program director, vice president of programs, and you was also there from the beginning. Now, we have done extensive work. We've done work in Kenya as well. We built a toilet in Kenya, pit toilet.
Yes.
And those things are not, they cost some money. We built a pit toilet there, but most of our work is here in the United States and in Jamaica. And we have done extensive work. In our first year in business as a nonprofit agency, we spent at Little London High School and the Little London Westmoreland area, maybe it was $70,000 US doing good work. All monies and raised and from generous donors, and we, with in a very transparent way, we deliver for them. And because of that, we established we're now a very credible organization, and we in this during the Melissa era, Hurricane Melissa era, we raised enough funds that we're able to fund 135 students in Western Jamaica. We're able to give these primary school students textbooks, 135 of them, not one book, but all the books they needed to go back to school. And something occurred to us. One of our directors said, that is not good enough. We need to go beyond just giving books, go beyond charity. We need to build bridges. We need to build capacity. And so something came up in my head, and I came up with this idea beyond the backpack. And this is what that is. So I want you to talk about beyond the backpack.
Yes. So you love that color? I love the colors. So Beyond the Backpack, yeah. So Beyond the Backpack came from the initiative that took place, and it's really meant to support. We're starting off as kind of like we're a trial, right? We're starting off with potentially 8 students, select 8 students. And we're looking at the students who are really underserved, the students who need a lot of extra support, whether it's transportation to get to school, they need uniforms, they need shoes, they need school supplies, they need textbooks, they may need some nutritional assistance as well, whether it's lunch at school or breakfast, things of that nature. So we're looking to start off with 8 of those children. And the plan is to start off from where they're at middle school for 3 years. Primary school. So we'll start them from primary school up until end of primary school before they go into high school, and really support them throughout those 3 years with those school basic essential things that they need. And also not just the tangible things that we'll be providing, but we'll provide mentorship for those children as well, which is probably one of the most important pieces of work that we will be doing with these children, is to make sure they have a mentor to guide them through their 3 years that we will be following them for. And of course, based on the positive, I'm going to say it's going to be a positive outcome that we're going to have, then we will start implementing Beyond the Backpack throughout the island, right? Throughout the island, and then look into adapting the program in other countries, and then just kind of expanding it globally. But we're starting in August. So it's going to be August of this year that we will definitely be launching the program.
Yeah, so 8 students. We'll start out with 8 students. And again, we'll start out in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and Trelawney. And maybe we need to take a look at, maybe we need to expand that to 10 and take a look at Hanover as well. That will cover the western parishes. And we will start out there, and then we will, the following year, we'll expand and grow into a couple other parishes, and we'll continue to grow it, and we'll cover the island. But that's not the end of it. We are starting out in Jamaica, but there are other Caribbean islands that we'll be looking at as well. There are other Caribbean islands. So this program, Beyond the Backpack, the idea is, it is a structured long-term student development initiative of the Global Humanity Network, providing long-term accountable support to give students, high potential students across Jamaica who lack financial resources. We understand that there are too many students falling through the crack because they can't afford to go to school. Some of them cannot afford transportation, so we will provide in cases where it's needed and necessary and where it's not available. We'll make sure they get to school. If it's a case where they don't have proper nutrition, it's a case where they don't have books, they don't have clothing, we'll make sure that they have those things. So we'll make sure that these students have all the necessary tools they need so they can excel in life and become that person that they can be. So that is beyond the backpack. Where also that bag you see on there, that backpack, it is in production and it will be available to our nonprofit agency. That bag, that beautiful bag that looks so much like Global Humanity Network and Jamaica, because we are Jamaicans, but we're not doing this because we're Jamaicans. We're doing this because we're servant leaders who understand that there is a need for people and an urgency for people like us to go out there and do the work that we're on earth to do. And I'm appealing to anyone out there who's got any amount of ability, any amount of capacity, anything that they can do, who are capable. It's time to step up, stand up, and do your part. You're not here just to exist. When you leave here, and if the question is asked, whose life is better because I existed on earth? It should be a good, positive answer. So if you are not able to answer that question, then it's time for you to start to live those principles that will generate the right answer. That someone can say, because of you, I am where I am today. All right, so that is Beyond the Backpack. It's an awesome program. There'll be an opportunity for you to support it. There are some sponsorship packages up there, $2,000, you become a student. I took it off of there. But anyway, that's enough information on that for now. There will be many opportunities. And I tell you, Donna, people are donating. Just today, I received a nice donation. I've had one person step up and made a hefty donation. Other people are sending in what they can afford. And this is going to be a success, already a success, that we were able to give 135 students textbooks, and textbooks are not cheap. It costs us some dollars, right? It costs our donors, and I should say we're thankful and grateful for those who contributed. One of the things about Global Humanity Network, our nonprofit agency, is every single penny or dollar or cent that we collect is used for the initiative. In fact, I believe I made about 3 or 4 trips to Jamaica since in Melissa, and the organization did not pay or spend a penny to cover my journey, my trip there. I paid for my airplane tickets, I paid to stay in hotels, and I paid for meals. So we utilize the hard-earned monies that our donors donate to us to spend on what they tell us they want it to be spent on. And those are the causes and programs of Global Humanity Network. All right, so I turn it to you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely agree with you. We don't play with our donors' money. It's something that we take very seriously, and we take pride in knowing that every time someone donate for a specific cause, we make sure that their money go towards that. And all our members, they're all volunteers. Once again, all our members or directors, they're all volunteers. If there's an initiative and they have to step up, they will. If they have to travel, they bear the expense out of their pockets and travel to make sure we do the work. So, that's what we do. And as you can see, it's quite interesting that we have a collision with purpose that is in the business of serving. And we also have Global Humanity Network that's in the business of serving. So I think it also it shows and speaks to who we are as individuals, that it's no coincidence that we are aligned with two organizations that may function a little bit differently on paper. However, our body of work is still surrounding, uplifting the less fortunate, and trying to make each person's life a little bit easier.
Mm. I see we have a comment here, Jamaican Museum and Cultural Center, another powerful organization here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Even friends, it is difficult to conceptualize the fact that there are still places in the world where cancer is seen as a pariah and not as an illness to be treated, and lean towards building research programs to educate and prevent. And it is amazing, difficult to understand, but that is the reality.
Right.
That is the reality. And lack of resources and living conditions and accessibility to good healthcare in many parts of this world. See, sometimes we don't understand what we have here, where we live, where we call home in the United States. We don't really conceptualize that as we should.
Right.
You know, we're very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunate. There are places, there are so many places, and I know we all know that is not their story. That is not their story. And we have seen it, we have experienced it because we've traveled into those locations. We're not just talking because we walk, we have lived it. It's our lived experiences. We've been there, we've
Right.
seen it. And that, for our friends who will be coming to Kenya, those servant leaders who will be coming to Kenya with us, that they will experience some of the things as we experienced. Yeah, and Kenya is a beautiful place. And we'll also be, Kenya is not our only location in Africa. In fact, we'll do all of East Africa at some point.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we're drawn to East Africa, whatever reason, we're drawn there. And we decided that our work cannot be temporary. It cannot be one of those things where we just, oh, I've been to Kenya. That is not who we are. We're not about temporary fixes. We're about, if we visit and we see that there are things that need to be done, we must finish our work before we move on. And that is why we are going back to Kenya. It's our third trip to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And I dare say there will be more. There will be more. So that is our work in Jamaica. Of course, we're doing other things. I'm working on another project in the school system, in the education system. I will know more about that, and it will probably end up being a very important piece of work as well. I'll know more about that because for us, we're not an education type of nonprofit. We're a social-based nonprofit, but students, because we understand that they are the future, we must spend our energy and time with them. All right, Dr. Donna. So what else? Yeah, I want to talk about, we didn't have a colloquium this year, and that was intentional. We understand that we must serve where we're needed the most. And Atlanta is not the place where it needed the most. And that's what the colloquium did. Mm-hmm. It did some work in Atlanta, but that's not where our work is urgent. So we made we consciously made a decision, the right decision, not to do our colloquium, not to have our colloquium this year, but to, if anything, do something in Africa. And then when we're done with Africa, we'll do something in Jamaica as well. So those are our two focus areas geographically. It's Kenya and Jamaica. Now, so no colloquium this year. It would have been this month, February, March.
It would have been last month. Mm-hmm.
Right. It would have been then. Awesome event where we honored people from across the globe and we gave out scholarships. Because that's another thing we do here at the Collision with Purpose. We have always given out scholarships. And I know last year we gave out 30 something scholarships in Kenya alone, and in Jamaica 14 and 14 plus. And we are building up to doing that again in Jamaica and in Kenya as well. So no colloquium this year. We apologize for it, but it was the right decision not to have one. All right, so another big thing that is happening in the world of the A Collision with Purpose is the Growth Mindset Masterclass. We have had 3 so far. So I want you to share your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So, we've had 3 classes so far. The first one we had was in California in December. Was the first class that we had, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 20 or 21 attendees that was at that class. And then we came back and we had one in January, and the third one in February we had. And all 3 classes were very successful. The feedback that we have received has been phenomenal. Each individuals, you've probably seen some individuals sharing what their takeaway from the classes, but even for the ones who have not shared videos, everyone has said that it has really opened up their minds to growing and really have taken them from a stuck mindset to more of a growth mindset and looking at their life through different lenses and really seeing that there's more opportunities for them to grow. Even individuals who felt that they had accomplished all that they wanted to in life and they were comfortable where they are. Even some of those individuals walk away realizing that, you know what, there is more to me. There is more to this story, and I still have room to grow. So, it's definitely a masterclass to invest in yourself, in oneself. If you don't want to grow, to be honest with you, even if you don't think about even growing or where you want to grow or anything of that nature, but the information is so valuable that even if you're not thinking about growth, it is an investment that you should make in yourself, just so that you can understand yourself a little bit better and know that you have the potential to do so much more in your life and in your space. So I definitely encourage individuals, anyone out there, if you're interested in taking the masterclass, connect with us and we can definitely get you signed up. Of course, there is a cost associated with the class. It is approximately an 8-hour class and it's really very intense. But it's worth it because it's really you working on you, right? So it's the beginning of the year and there is no time to start like now. So, just connect with us and, we definitely can take you through one of our masterclass sessions.
Yeah. So, I frequently run into people, talk to people and listen to people talk. And in most of my interaction, it is obvious that there are not too many individuals, people walking on this earth who can't benefit from the growth mindset masterclass. In fact, very successful people, not so successful people who are just getting started, 90-something% of them lack something and are operating in a comfort zone on a fixed mindset. One thing I promise you, when you take this class, when you take this master class, instantly you will become, the first assignment will change you in the class. The very first assignment, the very first question posed will have you thinking, will activate your mind the very first class. So again, it's not for everyone, but there's
Right.
some people who prefer to be locked up in their comfort zone, in that space, so-called safe, unhealthy place. So if that is your choice, then that is your choice. We're good with that. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to empower and work with those who are ready to get on the bus with a limited amount of seats. All right, so that's what we're here for. So the growth mindset, we will do an edition of it in Kenya. We'll do that. And I
Mhm.
should say for the with 14, maybe 18, and 21, it's been a gift from us, from the Collision with Purpose to our friends. It's been a gift. We've given them these classes as gifts to our friends. That's what we have done. And I know we'll give another gift, but it will be in Kenya this time. And we may give a gift in our home country, Jamaica. We'll see, right?
Mhm.
We'll see. We'll see. We may give another one. But I think after that, it won't be, the information will be gifted, but there'll be a cost for it. There'll be a cost for it. And also, Dr. Donna, we will be, we're planning a retreat. We haven't set the dates yet. Let's get out of Kenya first. Now we're
Right.
planning a retreat, a growth mindset masterclass retreat. It'll be a weekend thing,
Mhm.
1, 2, 3 days, because this type of work requires more than 8 hours, really, because it's so intense and it's so real and it's so life changing that we should invest the right amount of time that is required to do it effectively. Right, we're on the hour.
Oh yeah.
We're on the hour. We got to get out of here. So I just want to say thank you to the servant leaders who have made a sacrifice, who's making the sacrifice, time away from family, their money, spending their monies that they could use elsewhere to travel to Kenya with us in May. It's not something we take lightly, and we honor them for that.
Mhm.
But that we'll make sure that their experience, what they experience in Kenya, will be worth their effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like what you said, it's really, it's a sacrifice, right? It's really a sacrifice that um these individuals who are coming with us, that they're making. And we're very humbled, and we're very grateful that they are even saying yes to entrust us to travel across the pond somewhere they've never been to, a never new land. And they are entrusting us with not just their finances, they're entrusting us with their lives, they're entrusting us with their safety, just everything. And because of that, we are humbled that they are trusting us, and we thank them to trust us, to travel with us. And we are grateful that they are coming with us to be a part of the work that we are called to do, they're called to do, and that we're all called to do. So we're very grateful that we have individuals where we're all on the same page. We all have the same mindset to serve, and that we're blessed to go out there and to do the work that we're all here to really do.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what's important as well? While we have all like-minded people, we have varied skill sets.
Yes.
coming. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, the range is so wide, and what that will do is that's adding so much more value
Mm-hmm.
to our team and the work we're going to do there. You know, the work we're going to do there. Yeah. So, and I should also say that every single servant leader who's coming with us was by invitation. We have not mass recruit.
Mm-hmm.
We have not put it out there and say, come, anyone. It's all by invitation only. So if we invited you to come, then you know you're someone we see as very important in our lives. We didn't just ask anyone. We know we asked the right person.
Right.
The ones who are able to come answered yes. And even the ones that couldn't make it for whatever reason, we understand and we appreciate you the same way. Even though you come, because we get it. We understand. We understand there's another time, another opportunity. So we're grateful to you as well, even though you're not coming with us. All right, Donna. So let us get out of here. We're on the hour.
We're on the hour.
We have done our work. We've done our work. And let me say that I just want to say thank you to our friends who joined us today and who will watch the replay, you know, across the world, because indeed we are a global organization. I want to say thank you to all our supporters, all our donors, all those who understand the importance of our work and who are committed to do the same kind of work that we do. Even if you're not with our organization, you're out there doing your work, you're answering your calling. I want to say thank you and that continue to do what you do. And just don't focus on those other folks who will never understand why you're here, because they lack an understanding of why they're here. I just want to put that out there. So you just do what you're here to do, focus on that and nothing else. You know, they say, be that racehorse, have that mentality. Put blinders on so you only see where you're going, because that is the only important thing. And let all the other noise or nonsense stay where it belongs. Let it stay with those who are perpetrating it. All right, Dr. Donna, I'm done. That's all I have to say.
All right. So once again, it is Monday evening here in the Spotlight. We thank you for joining us. We do not take your time for granted. And we would like to say have a wonderful remainder of the week. There is a lot that's going on, but go out there, be positive, stay safe, and do one act of kindness. We charge you to do an act of kindness, not to a family member or a friend, but a total stranger. Find a stranger, and whether it's a word of encouragement, coffee, donut, whatever it may be. But we charge you to go out there and do kindness, and let's start making kindness become infectious. And it starts with you. So have a wonderful week.
Right, that is it. We're out.
Step into the spotlight. Couple lights on, cameras roll. Time to break the mold. No more silence, every story's gotta be told. Truth in the air, no filter, no disguise. Real talk, real change. We open up your eyes. We got the voices that are changing the game. Fearless, unchained, calling our names. From the struggles to the rise, we expose, we ignite. No topic too deep when you step in the light. We got the answers, spotlight at your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep, breaking the silence. No secrets we keep.